Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, Crimea has plunged into darkness as explosions rock Russian military bases. What's happening on the peninsula, and why is the world watching closely? Stay tuned, because this could change everything you thought you knew about the Ukraine conflict. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a major development in Crimea. Reports are coming in that explosions have rocked Russian military bases, leaving parts of the peninsula in darkness. While the full details are still emerging, this incident highlights the growing tensions in the region. Crimea has long been a strategic point in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Its ports, airbases, and military infrastructure have always been high priority targets for both sides. The explosions appear to have caused temporary power outages in some areas, leaving residents and military facilities in partial darkness. Analysts are carefully monitoring satellite imagery and local reports to understand the extent of the damage. While there is no confirmation of casualties, the scale of the blast suggests a significant impact on military operations. This is not the first time Crimea has faced such disruptions, but the intensity of these recent events has raised global attention. Governments around the world are likely watching closely, assessing the implications for regional security. In this video, we'll break down what is known so far, explore the possible reasons behind these explosions, and analyze the strategic consequences for both Ukraine and Russia. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of why this incident could shift the balance in Crimea. Crimea has been a flashpoint in global geopolitics for over a decade. The peninsula, located on the northern coast of the Black Sea, holds strategic military and economic importance. Its ports serve as critical naval hubs, while its airbases enable rapid deployment of forces across the region. After Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, the region became heavily militarized, with large numbers of troops, missile systems, and defense installations stationed across key locations. The Ukrainian government and international observers have always considered Crimea a potential target for sabotage or attacks aimed at weakening Russian control. In recent months, intelligence reports indicated increased activity around these military bases, with both sides conducting drills and countermeasures. The recent explosions, which plunged parts of Crimea into darkness, come amid this heightened tension. Energy supply lines, including power stations and grid connections, appear to have been disrupted, adding to the uncertainty. Analysts are now reviewing satellite data and eyewitness reports to determine whether this was a deliberate strike or an accidental chain reaction. Either way, the event sends a powerful message about the vulnerability of even heavily fortified areas. As we continue, we'll examine the specific locations affected, the type of military installations involved, and the immediate responses by local authorities and Russian military leadership. Understanding the context of Crimea's history and strategic importance is key to grasping why this incident is so significant in the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict. The explosions in Crimea have sparked immediate concern among military analysts and local residents. While official statements remain limited, eyewitnesses report hearing multiple blasts near major Russian military bases. The scale of the explosions suggests either a coordinated strike or a serious accident within sensitive military facilities. Power outages followed quickly, leaving neighborhoods and operational areas in darkness. Early reports indicate that air defense systems and logistics hubs may have been affected, potentially disrupting military readiness. Satellite images show smoke plumes rising from certain locations, though the exact damage is still being assessed. Russian officials have called the incidents under investigation and are working to restore normal operations. Social media videos from the region show lights flickering and emergency responses underway. Analysts are debating whether this was a targeted Ukraine operation or an internal accident. Considering the precision and timing of the blasts, some experts suggest that even if no casualties occurred, the psychological impact on Russian forces and residents could be significant. Temporary power outages at key installations can delay communications and operations, giving opposing forces strategic advantages. In the coming hours, more data will emerge from both Ukrainian intelligence and independent observers, helping to clarify the causes and consequences of this unprecedented event in Crimea. The explosions in Crimea could have immediate implications for Russian military operations in the region. Military analysts point out that the affected bases serve as critical hubs for troop deployment, missile systems, and supply chains. Any disruption, even temporary, can impact operational efficiency and readiness. The darkness caused by power outages may interfere with surveillance systems, radar stations, and communications networks, creating vulnerabilities. Russian commanders are likely reassessing security protocols, checking for potential sabotage or technical failures. The timing is particularly sensitive, as Russia has been reinforcing positions in the region amid ongoing conflicts along Ukraine's front lines. Even a short-term disruption can create gaps in defensive coverage, limiting rapid response capabilities. Strategically, this event also has a psychological effect, both on military personnel and civilians living nearby. The sense of uncertainty and vulnerability may impact morale and operational confidence. International observers are monitoring the situation closely, assessing whether these explosions could mark a shift in regional military balance. Ukrainian forces could leverage such disruptions if the event was deliberate, while Russian command will be under pressure to restore full operational capacity. In the broader context of the conflict, any incidents in Crimea are closely watched by the global community, given the peninsula's strategic importance in the Black Sea region. While military installations were the primary locations affected by the explosions, local civilians also experienced the consequences. Power outages plunged neighborhoods into darkness, affecting homes, schools, and businesses. Residents reported sudden blackouts, disruptions to heating and communications, and increased anxiety as emergency services responded. Some areas were evacuated as a precaution due to the potential risk of secondary explosions. Social media posts from the region show people using flashlights, candles, and mobile phones to navigate through the blackout. Local authorities have issued safety warnings and are working to restore electricity and essential services. Hospitals and critical infrastructure have been placed on emergency protocols to ensure continuity of services. The psychological impact on residents cannot be underestimated. Sudden explosions combined with darkness create confusion and fear. Many are concerned about the long-term stability of the region and the safety of remaining in proximity to military bases. Humanitarian observers are likely monitoring the situation closely, as events like these can escalate tensions and complicate civilian life. While the full scale of the impact is still emerging, authorities are prioritizing restoring normalcy and ensuring that civilians are safe while investigations continue into the cause of the explosions. This incident highlights how conflict and military infrastructure issues directly affect the daily lives of ordinary people. The explosions in Crimea have drawn international attention, with governments and analysts closely monitoring the situation. NATO representatives emphasized the importance of stability in the region and called for transparent information from all parties. Western media highlighted the potential implications for regional security, noting that Crimea remains a highly militarized and strategic location. Neighboring countries have expressed concern about the possibility of further escalations and are urging caution to prevent civilian casualties. Analysts suggest that this event could influence diplomatic negotiations, military planning, and strategic decision-making at higher levels. The United Nations is likely to request updates from Russia and Ukraine regarding the incident, emphasizing the need for factual reporting. News coverage around the globe underscores the significance of the peninsula as a flashpoint in the broader conflict. Social media discussions reveal widespread curiosity, speculation, and concern over the immediate and long-term consequences. While international reactions vary in tone and intensity, the consensus is that such events can rapidly alter perceptions of stability, safety, and control in Crimea. Governments and institutions will be closely tracking the aftermath to determine how this incident fits into the larger geopolitical picture, while analysts continue evaluating possible next steps by both military and civilian authorities. The cause of the explosions in Crimea remains under investigation, and experts are offering multiple theories. One possibility is a deliberate strike aimed at disrupting Russian military operations. Precision, timing, and impact patterns could indicate a coordinated effort, though confirmation is pending. Another explanation could be an internal accident, considering the concentration of ammunition, fuel, and sensitive equipment at these bases. Technical failures, human error, or chain reactions can sometimes lead to large-scale explosions. Analysts are also considering cyber-related disruptions that may have indirectly caused operational failures. Determining the cause is crucial for understanding the strategic implications of the event. If deliberate, the incident signals vulnerabilities in highly fortified areas, potentially emboldening opposing forces. If accidental, it highlights the risks inherent in maintaining large military stockpiles and complex operational systems. Either way, the event underscores the need for rigorous safety protocols, continuous monitoring, and transparency in reporting. In the coming days, investigators will analyze satellite imagery, eyewitness accounts, and official statements to piece together a timeline and identify the root cause. The findings will influence both military strategy and public perception, shaping responses and policies in Crimea and beyond. Strategically, the explosions in Crimea could have long-term effects on military planning, regional security, and international relations. Disruptions to key military bases may temporarily limit Russia's operational capabilities, affecting deployments and response times. The psychological impact on personnel and residents may influence morale and readiness, potentially reshaping tactical decisions. Ukraine and its allies could view this as an opportunity to test defensive weaknesses or pressure strategic targets. At the same time, Russia may accelerate fortification, infrastructure repairs, and contingency planning to prevent similar incidents. Analysts suggest that events like these can shift the balance of power, even briefly, in a highly contested region. International actors will also take note, adjusting diplomatic strategies and assessing risks to security, trade, and regional alliances. The incident reinforces Crimea's role as a geopolitical hotspot, where localized events can have global repercussions. Military experts will likely study patterns, response strategies, and vulnerability points to refine future planning. Ultimately, the explosions serve as a reminder that even heavily fortified areas are not immune to disruption, and that strategic foresight, rapid adaptation, and careful monitoring remain essential in complex conflict zones like Crimea. Looking ahead, the situation in Crimea remains tense. Authorities are working to restore full operational capability, investigate the cause of the explosions, and ensure civilian safety. Analysts will continue monitoring satellite imagery, communications, and local reports to track any ongoing disruptions or potential follow-up incidents. Diplomatic channels may open to clarify the events, assess regional stability, and prevent escalation. Both military and civilian stakeholders are likely to adjust plans in response to lessons learned from the explosions, improving security protocols and emergency preparedness. The international community will continue watching closely, with potential implications for negotiations, sanctions, and defense strategies. Local residents are adapting to the uncertainty, balancing daily life with precautionary measures. Media coverage will likely continue, offering updates, expert analysis, and eyewitness reports to inform global audiences. In the coming weeks, understanding the root cause and consequences will be crucial for shaping regional policy, military readiness, and strategic planning. The incident also serves as a reminder of the fragility and unpredictability inherent in conflict zones. As we follow developments, it's important to stay informed, critically evaluate reports, and recognize the human and geopolitical impact of such events in Crimea. In conclusion, the explosions in Crimea that plunged parts of the peninsula into darkness highlight the ongoing volatility and strategic importance of the region. Military, civilian, and international observers continue to analyze the immediate and long-term consequences. Whether caused by deliberate action or internal accidents, the event demonstrates the vulnerabilities of even heavily fortified areas. Understanding the context, strategic implications, and potential outcomes is essential for anyone following the Ukraine-Russia conflict. We'll continue tracking updates as more information becomes available. If you found this analysis helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any important updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is the significance of these explosions for Crimea and the broader conflict? Your engagement helps us bring more in-depth analysis and up-to-date news directly to you. Thank you for watching and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates on Crimea, Ukraine, and global military developments.